down in the back, those chassis legs are not too badly damaged. I don't even know where to start. It is a bad one. This is the front slam panel. This is meant to be about here, and it's gone all the way back there, and you can see why. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another and exciting yet slightly sad episode of Salvage Nation. Listen, I'm not even gonna waste any time with this one. As you've just seen by the title, do you recognize this car? Let me get out of the way. Does it look familiar? Before we continue, who remembers this? Guys, this is how we're starting that new year. That's right, guys. This is what's left of my New Year's Day build, which was a 2018 VW Golf R 7.5. If you remember, we got this car in the morning, we did a one-day build on it, and I dropped this video on New Year's Day, and literally, if that's just January, it's now February, less than a month later. Have a look. I am not even kidding you, less than a month later, got a phone call from the new owner. Mate, can you help me out? Next day, here we are. So guys, if you don't know about this build, I recommend, I'll put a card up above there, right there. Go check out that video, that episode. It was an amazing episode. This car was zipping around and the damage wasn't even this bad. But for you guys, here's a reminder, check out these slow motion shots of the car. It's a crazy spec. And then for this episode, we're gonna be going around all the damage because there's a lot of it. And I'm gonna be telling you the plan and we're gonna be rebuilding this on the channel. So let's go. So guys, I hope that jogged your memory, and for the newbies, I hope that you've clicked that link and you went and checked out the previous video because it was a crazy video. But anyway, no more talking. Let's go around the car. I want to show you everything that's wrong with this 2018 VW Golf R 7.5. Let's go check it out. Right, so guys, it's only right. I'm gonna start right at the beginning, right here where all this damage is. Have a look, like the car came off the truck in the middle of the night. Akil took a delivery of it. I wasn't around, but the whole front end is literally just hanging off. It's all cable tied on, and that's because it looks like the person literally hit a pole. Have a look at the bumper. The bumper flexes, but it's still tall, but have a look inside. Like, if you remember in that previous video, the damage was not that bad. It was just, yeah, it was not that bad. Now, I am terrified, and I'm praying to God that down in the back, those chassis legs are not too badly damaged. I know that once you get impact on the cross member right there, it kind of drags both points of the chassis legs inwards along with it. And I'm a bit worried about that. I want to see if I can get this open later on as well. But listen, I don't even know where to start. It is a bad one. It is a bad one. The two wings, they look okay, but right here and on the other side, you've got some damage. The headlights though, this is what I want to see if these are still working, because I've checked the price of these headlights and they are an arm and a leg. I think it's like £700 each. Now, the actual glass isn't broken. I can't hear any kind of dangly bits inside. All that I can see that's broken is the tabs. And from what I can see, I should be able to, yep, it's still got the connecting points there. I should be able to buy a headlight tab repair kit, and that should be enough to get these, well, this side. I need to check that side, but that should be enough to get the headlights working again, providing that they are working, so I will be checking those. As you can see, this front panel is completely gone. I'm gonna need a front panel, front cross member. There's a foam insert. I need to check some of these wires, and I'm hoping, I'm praying, guys, cross your fingers and thumbs for me. I'm hoping that behind the rads, there's no damage to the engine, the face of the engine, or any of the components there, the ancillaries, etc., etc. So I'm really, really hoping that there's not too much damage that's been caused there. This passenger side, this driving side headlight, it is the same as well. It's got a tiny little spider crack there, but I'm not too fussed about that. Once again, I'm hoping that I can get away with just a tab repair kit on that. Front bumper, as you can see, is completely toasted. The radar and the grille, now that radar that does the distance control, that is like £600-700 to buy and cold, and you have to get it recalibrated from VW. I can tell already this is not gonna be a cheap repair, it's not gonna be an easy repair, but it's gonna be a fun repair. Everything on the bottom, all the under trays are completely gone. As you can see, the damage is a lot down there as well. There was a cross member, have a look there. This bit of metal was dragging on the floor, so I had to tie it up. We're gonna be taking all of this off in the second episode, and we're gonna be really getting in behind there to see exactly what's going on. Now, if you remember, this car was still is a really top spec car. I've not seen one of these that's this spec tight. It's got the panoramic roof. It's got the upgraded audio system, I was told. It's got the virtual cockpit, I was told. It's got the massive sat-nav touchscreen. I can't remember the name of it. If you do know, let me know. But it's just a fully loaded and well-spec'd out car. And it's such a lovely car, and it's a shame that it had to sustain this damage yet again. But the damage was unrecorded. It's not a category car. And at the end of this build, guys, if one of you want to buy it, listen, you're seeing everything. We're gonna buy all the parts brand new from the dealership. So we're gonna be using OEM genuine parts on this because it deserves it. It's a high-end model car and it deserves the best repair. And then I'm gonna be selling the car at the end of this build. So if you're interested, register your interest from now. Let's continue going around the car. So guys, I've managed to open up the bonnet right there. As you can see, the bonnet is gone. It goes without saying that I need a new bonnet, but yeah, I need a new bonnet. And it's not looking good. Look, this is the front slam panel. This is meant to be about here, and it's gone all the way back there, and you can see why. Cross member has completely folded in. It looks like the McDonald's sign. Zoop, zoop, zoom. Those rad packs are completely gone. But you never know, a little paint, little bit of paint and that might be all good. But nah, all jokes aside, we need a new complete rad pack, intercooler, everything. Look, bits of metal everywhere. And I'm really want to get further down in there, but I don't want to break anything, so we're gonna save it for the next episode to kind of like tear everything down. But just looking around the car, can't lie, I'm a little bit worried about those chassis legs, but we're gonna know more in episode 2. On the interior of the car, everything is nice and clean. It's got a really lovely interior, very clean interior. There's no damage. It literally just needs a little bit of a clean, like I said, but there's no damage. I want to check to see if the car is starting. I was told it should be running and driving. I just want to check and make sure. I know that it's not got any coolant inside, so I'm not gonna run it for too long, but let's start it up and see. And that virtual cockpit just looks the business, isn't it? So I've got the key as keyless start. There you go. So I don't want to rev it, it's cold and there's no coolant. But it's running, it's driving. This is all working, massive touchscreen, it's got the nav, everything. It's got the navigation and everything, so everything is all working there. I'm happy with that. I want to check the gearbox, make sure that the gearbox hasn't got any damage. Stick it in reverse. Rear camera. Yep. It's moving. And then now stick it in drive. Yep, it's moving. Bit rough, but it is moving, it's working. Everything seems to be working on the inside, and I don't want to ruin the engine, so switching it off. Right there, it says DV audios. If anyone knows what that means, or if that, I know that it's an upgraded audio, but I know like for BMW, you've got Harman Kardon. It seems like with Audi, you've got DV audio. I don't know who they are. Let me know in the comments. Other than that, the car's got 59 on the clock. It's clean, it drives, it starts, it runs. And most importantly, it's HPI clear. So we're gonna be doing an amazing rebuild on this car. We're gonna be using only OEM manufactured parts. We're gonna be bringing it back to a very high standard and moving the car on, as I said. You guys are gonna be joining along for the journey. Let me know if there's any mods that you think I should do. Let me know what you think of the build. Let me know what you think of the crazy story that less than a month ago, I rebuilt this car, moved it on, and then it's come straight back. It's like a yo-yo. It's gone away and it's come right back to Salvage Nation, but it's in good hands. Now, another thing that I noticed is this front passenger side wheel, the tire is completely flat, and I can see some damage onto the rim right there, and I can see a gouge on the tire. I don't know if you can see the gouge there. Now, I'm hoping, because these alloys are quite expensive, I'm hoping that it's just a damaged tire and I can replace the tire and I don't need to replace the entire alloy, but there is a possibility that there could be a crack. When the impact kind of affected the car here, some of that energy could have gone through, and I don't know, it could have hit the curb, it could have hit anything and damaged that alloy as well. So I'm praying that that is not a cracked alloy, but we'll know more once we get to that. Moving along, like I said, you've got some small damage here on the wing, but the rest of this wing, I think this wing should be salvageable. The bonnet there, because the bonnet is pushed back, is chafing on the wing, but I'm hoping that that should be all right. Passenger side door, there's no damage there. Now, the most shocking thing is, look inside, no airbags have gone off. For some strange reason, the airbags didn't go off in the accident. I don't know if it's a blessing or I don't know if it's a problem, but I will be looking into that, making sure that that airbag system is working. I'll be checking that on the diagnostic system just to check over everything once we start the repair on the car. I'm moving along. Have a look at this entire passenger side. That rear door has got no damage. Rear quarter has got no damage. Coming along the back, it looks like they've got a little bit of like paint transfer or something like that on the rear bumper. But I'm assuming that that's not from the accident. I'm assuming that's just from like general wear and tear of the previous owner using and driving the car. On the rear, once again, nothing too crazy that I'm bothered about. On the driver's side quarter panel, no damage. Driver's side, both doors, there's no damage to the two doors. And that brings us back to the front. Same issue here on this wing. There's no damage to the wing. Funny enough, there's no damage to these kind of front sections of the wing, but at the back here, it's just chafing on the bonnet, because when the bonnet got the impact right there, it would have just pushed everything back a little bit. So it's chafing up there. Alloys all around, they seem to be okay, except for that one over there as I've shown you. And that brings us back to the front of the car. So, what is the plan for this car? Let's talk about the plan. So guys, I've shown you a brief overview of all the damage. You've seen the car. I still can't believe the car is back. The plan for this build is I'm gonna strip it down in episode 2. I'm gonna make a parts list. Once I've got that part list, I'm gonna be reaching out to TPS. If you watch the channel, I always get my Audi and VW parts from TPS. They do OEM parts on behalf of Audi and VW groups. So we're making a massive order, and I've just got a feeling it's going to be crazy. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be stripping down the front end, as I said, making that parts order, ordering all the parts. We're going to be rebuilding this car. Let me know what mods I should do, because I don't know. I've been focusing on my BMW. I would like to get, how would you like to see this car versus my BMW on Center Pod? I'm getting visions right now. But anyway, before we get to that, we need to rebuild the car first, and that's what we're going to be doing. So if you want to follow this build, subscribe to the channel, make sure your bells are on. I think I'm going to do Wednesday, because if you remember, I release videos twice a week. I think I'll do Wednesday night is going to be Golf R content, and Sunday is going to be BMW M140i content. Let me know how that works, or should I just put them all out randomly? Let me know. I'm governed by you guys. But I've got my work cut out yet again for this, but I'm happy. As you can see, the smile never goes, because I haven't seen anything too crazy yet. I'm hoping that when I tear it down, I don't find anything too crazy, but we're gonna be getting into this. So make sure you stay tuned for episode 2. This is where we're gonna leave it. So like I always say, guys, keep it moving, and I'll see you in the next one. Guys, thank you for watching. Click here to see what YouTube thinks you should watch. Click here to watch one of my previous episodes. And like it said there, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We out.